Good evening. Darius Gaiden from the Cosmic Collection here on PlayStation 4. And I think they put this out on the Switch as well, the Cosmic Collection. It's got bloody hell, Darius Original, Darius 2, Gaia, all sorts of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Anyway, Darius Gaiden came out on the Taito X3, I believe. Could be wrong. Anyway, Taito arcade system of some sort. Sells for about 200 quid or something. It's not the most expensive arcade system to buy. Quite a good one. We've made lots of cartridges for this system. There's that other one as well, Gekirinden. It's also on the same system. And many others that I can't name at the moment. But they did a fantastic port on the PlayStation 4. And this is my favourite. It's Darius Gaiden. Whack 5 credits in, right, that'll do. So I'm going to play this for 5 credits worth. You immediately see there the sheer speed of this game. Quite remarkable. And what's interesting, of course, you've got something like the PlayStation 4, it's running it probably faster than the arcade, or certainly the CPU power of this PlayStation 4 is slightly in excess of the arcade hardware that was available at the time. So if you played this on the arcade, you would have probably seen a bit of flicker or slow down. I'm only saying this because I recently bought the Dodonpachi PCB, and there are sections of that game where you've got a lot of bullets and enemies on the screen, and the arcade game slows down and it's got flicker. And that's just too bloody bad. Yeah, if you play it on the PlayStation or even the Saturn with its flaws, you do find that it's bombing. There we go. I love this game. It's one of the best, isn't it? Absolutely nice. Absolutely. The weapon system is just remarkably easy and fun. Shield and all this stuff. I mean, it's got to be in the right place, this game. There's no fat. There's no unnecessary features. There's no faffing around. There's no this and that. It's just absolutely spot on. Oh. I think there's been a real resurgence in interest for, the golden age of shooting games. I do. I mean, I know that I'm... good evening. Good evening, Tinker Stocks. You got this one on Saturn, yeah, it's absolutely awesome. A must-have Saturn game. This PlayStation 4 game is very loyal to that Saturn port. Are there any special features in the widescreen? It's 4.3. The only addition, I think, was to the arcade. It was also available on the Saturn is the auto fire speed, which you can define on each button. I've got it. Drop a bomb. Okay, I wanted that. I was a bit worried then that the smartphone might retard my efforts. They even had room for a few unnecessary sprites at the bottom there. They don't add much to the game, they look good. Shoot one or two things, even that had something to say for itself. These enemies are not passive. Every enemy there filled with frames of animation. Starfish. Lin Joe. Sick. Does this have stage select? Yeah, it has a training mode on it where you can select the stage. And a heap of options, I think. Yeah, practice mode. To be honest, all the games on this particular release have got quite a few nice, settings that make it possible to practice boss battles and levels. Just sticking to the tried and tested arcade mode. Nice. Opening up the side. It could be said that this game is not the most faithful to aerial combat in its truest sense. Infinite bullets and mechanized ships. It's no, it's a port of the arcade. Just I'm quite grounded in this. Grounded, quite something in the Saturn version. Kind of used to playing the Saturn version. Ooh. So there's not really much difference. The Saturn version runs silky smooth as well, but this is the arcade version, and a whole load of other arcade games on here, which the Saturn obviously couldn't do. There was no one version of any of the Darius games on the Saturn that had more than one game in it. See, this is a full set. Should have been. I don't know if they included G Darius in this. I have to check that out. If they didn't, I'd be surprised if it wasn't on another multi-game downloadable, thing. But I would be very surprised if G Darius had been omitted. I was looking at the title screen earlier, and I didn't see it. Yeah. I'm very surprised if it's omitted, because G Darius is as good as this. Easily. Might have to pick this up. It's one of the best. I mean, this isn't a guilty purchase. This is a properly amazing game to get on the PlayStation 4 or Switch. It's just absolutely brilliant. And there's obviously the Darius Chronicle, which was the 2005 or something remake from the series. Not remake, just a completely new Darius game, 4-seater, double wide screen effort. Saved myself a bit of sweat on this boss. Excuse the very poor form, firing off all these smart bombs. Don't really fancy surviving a lot longer on this boss. Fancy my chances. On his final throw now. Throwing everything at me. It's that gets me. I'm not in motion. I gave it 21cc and beat great thing on main. That affects me. Great thing. Ooh. If I wanted to select that. You get so much game on this. Darius Gaiden, you get, what is it? I think it's A to Z. I think there's 26 levels there. I mean, you might find that later on, one or two of them repeat. I know that the original Darius games did that. They all have branching systems, and they all occasionally repeated the. In every level, you get some repeat. I'm not quite sure if it's repeating the background or the boss, or just a bit of a remix something. But you get at least. I mean, if there's 26 levels, I reckon you get at least 10 brand new levels, if you like, completely distinctively separate levels, and then maybe the rest of them are kind of remixes or whatever. Binging and all that. Very unskillful, highly unskillful playing that. Superb game. If there's one game to pick up this Christmas, it is the Darius Cosmic Collection. It doesn't get more enjoyable than this. Messaging mate, thank you. Great thing is Blue Whale boss on Zedru. Oh, I see. Right, it's one of the bosses. He's the most iconic Darius final boss. I'll check it out. Thank you. There's quite a few on Cosmic, not on Cosmic Collection, on Darius Chronicles Saviors. Some of the bosses are kind of remixed. They're, quite sort of high def versions, but they do have quite similar bosses. And the bosses are amazing in that game. Making a right cock up of this. Going to get tactical, it's going to have to get properly tactical, which means not messing around in the wrong part of the screen. That's what getting tactical means. It's just like he knows what he's talking about. Get drawn into it. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I was impatient. That was the sweet spot. Nice bullets. I walked right into that. You have to work in pulses there. Very clever. Not me, the game. Oh, I'm dead. What's the tactic here then? Lure them. You have to lure them. Lure. I kind of did it then. One in a row. Amazing. Okay, let's go for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stages. 0 credits though, this will be my last credit. Have some reused music going on. What a level though. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely splendid. I think of all the series, Gaiden has arguably the best gameplay. Say G Darius comes in pretty close second. This has just got that absolutely essential arcade speed to it, this game. There's nothing shabby with G Darius. I'd say they're on a par in terms of my enjoyment of them anyway. But they're absolute masterpieces, both of them. Absolute masterpieces. Right, we got one at last. Oh, I missed it and I died after all of that. And he's not going to continue either. What I'll do, I'll go to one of the other games. So I've got, 5 minutes? 10 minutes. Let's go to one of the... let's try failed. Ranking uploading failed. There we go. Don't want that. See it. Right. I want that, that's it. Selection, it says in an unnecessarily enthusiastic voice. So with this one, from the top, we got the original Darius. New version, as you can see, the missiles are upgraded. You got Darius extra version, which I quite like. Darius 2. Sigaya. One of these was released on the Super Famicom, wasn't it? I'm going to play this one because we're clearly not seeing any. We're not seeing any. There you go. So you got training mode and normal mode there. We ain't seeing any Darius. What do you call it? Are we on that one? Okay, so we've got a double screen here. I'm going to do, in the magic of OBS, I'm going to stretch this screen out a little bit. We're going to put this up here. That bloody way. Okay, that'll do. And then that. Smaller, isn't it? Smaller still. Yeah, good. That's fitting in the screen. Very nice. Okay. Right, so let's have a pop at this then. No, wrong button. Yeah. Darius 2. Twin screen game. I was so happy when I saw this was coming out because clearly with the HDMI resolution, the PlayStation 4 can handle the 2 times what would be 520 times 480 or whatever the bloody resolution is of a full 3 monitor. 640 by 480 times that. That's having it. Getting any tearing tonight? What's the tearing issue on the stream recently? See, this game far less sophisticated than Gaiden. Originally, you know, if you'd been seeing this on the arcade with 2 CRT screens mirroring each other, you would have felt quite pleased with yourself. It would have looked good. It would have been a good find in an arcade. So not knocking it at all. It's a classic game, but it clearly for the new gen doesn't quite cut it, does it? That's some of the other ones. Right, we have a smartphone flying thing. Don't want to shoot that quite yet. I want to wait till there's something on the screen. Like this, for instance. There we go. Darius Slim with a Super Famicom release. Indeed, yeah, this is that was the version I wanted to play. I'm not sure we are playing it though, because this is obviously the 2-screen arcade version. And maybe the Darius Twin isn't on this collection, to be honest. See what the situation is. Yeah, I've got it on an emulator, albeit non-original hardware, but I do have a version of Darius Twin on the Super Nintendo. It's good, this game. If you've got a widescreen monitor, I heartily recommend it. It does it justice actually on a 16:9 letterbox monitor, which is my main gaming monitor over here. Definitely does it justice. It looks tidy. It looks really tidy. I mean, it's not filling the screen because that is slimmer than a 16:9 image. It's like a much narrower image. Right, the image. That. Shoot. Clearly benefiting at the moment from a little bit of power. That was lazy, and that was. One up. What's he going to do? He's going to die getting the one up. I kind of knew that was going to happen. I got angry before I even did it because it just felt wrong. Maybe I should have avoided it and I wouldn't have got an extra life. Anyway, it's cost neutrally in the end, that manoeuvre. Right. This looks interesting. Definitely not moving fast enough to avoid them. You can just about dodge them. They're clearly designed with the speed of the craft in mind. So it's not an impossibly difficult difficulty setting. It has to be said. It's just it got a bit close then. Close for comfort. On his way out. Speak too soon, though. It's out. Whew. Okay. Only streaming to about 8:30, so we won't continue an awful lot. I have got 4 credits. I'll see how far I can get with 1 credit first. Lovely background. I love it when a game with a certain amount of clout uses a basic Starfield backdrop, because you can do a lot with a Starfield. A lot of clout. It's simple. It's clean. I love a nice Starfield. I do not demand highly detailed backgrounds in games. I'd rather have a very plain background than a background that was really repetitive, i.e. not a great deal of artwork, but just overly complicated. As in, you know, a repetitive, highly complicated background. To be honest, that's what I didn't like about Fast Striker and similar games of that ilk. Not a major criticism of the game, but that is extra weapon. Slightly strange tank enemies that you get on the original Darius game. Again, it's masterfully made, this one. There's such incredible difficulty curve in Darius games. They're so playable, and you really just enjoy playing them. They're not cheap. And rear projection CRT for the first time at home recently. Nice. Recommend trying one. I'd love to try one. Oh, how did that happen? Oh, okay. Automatically turned around. Yeah, I remember them from the 90s, but I don't think I've ever played a game on one. Interesting. So it's basically a CRT rear projection. See, how does that work? I'm not going to ask you how it works. You don't want to stop writing 500-word comments on how it works, but I will look up how they work. And when I read it, I'll go, of course. But, right now, I'm trying to figure out how a rear projection CRT works without having read about them recently, so I don't think I will. Right, let's get a few of these waves. What I call quite a fiddly level. I love the sharpness though. I really like the fiddliness. It feels like a kind of highly evolved Amiga game or something. I mean, really fiddly and difficult. Nothing wrong with this though. Oh. A bit slow off the mark. Isn't quite the right way to approach that bit, is it? Then really nicely paced. Really nicely paced boss. enjoyable. I imagine I'm going off to the next zone now. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Great, thank you for that. 3 picture tubes, one each for red, green, and blue. Viewing angle is narrow, but the size and character of the picture is better somehow. Wow, 3 picture tubes. What? So the tube, I mean, this is the bit I need to work out, where the tube sort of, how it focuses. It's obviously bounced off some kind of mirror at the back, whatever. I mean, if it's is it like a phosphorus screen, or does the cathode ray literally, where does it end up? Because obviously something needs to land on an element, whether it's LED or LCD or whatever. The unit that lights up is a little light, isn't it? Technical language, as in noob language. Yeah, I imagine that there might be a projection. So the light source is being emitted from some lit surface, and I imagine that the lit surface is being reflected off a mirror of some sort. I don't know. You said it's a narrow viewing angle. Clearly, in terms of projected images, yeah, reflections, absolutely there would be a viewing angle, wouldn't there, if it was being reflected off something. If you sat to the side like that, you wouldn't see it because you wouldn't be catching it. Essentially 3 monochrome tubes projected together through a mirror on the front screen. Right. Through a mirror onto the front screen, okay. Well, I didn't think I've ever played this level yet. Thanks for the, thanks for just appreciate the description. It's good to know a bit more about these things. I've never played this stuff. Do you get scan lines? It's a CRT projected image. Is the type of image it gives similar to CRT? Projected. Credit 0. Okay, this is my last credit. It's official. Not that official. God, that wasn't my last line. Oh, what's going on here? That was a cock up and a half. Really enjoying this game. Fantastic. I love the little shapes, the enemies. It's just joyful. Especially this time of year. I think this game, it's just got a very joyful feel to it. Yes, it's difficult, but it's so colourful and kind of interesting, I would say. Northern Lights. Ooh, nice. Richard Geiger-ish, R-Type-ish. All of that stuff. Oh god. Oh no. I think I've had it. Oh no, I can continue infinitely. Alright. Well. Since I don't play this very often on a live stream, I will. This whole setup of mine is temporary. I've got just not a lot of stuff on this desk, but I can't use it for anything else at the moment, so it's not going to stay here all Christmas. It's not going to stay here that much longer, so I thought it would be nice to get some good use of it. I love that effect. That is amazing. Absolutely love these vector type graphical effects. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh no. Little critters. Little critters, even the music's critterish. What must the tactic be? The tactic is to stay high until they all go away. That's the tactic. I'm pleased myself. No problem, I dismissed them for a long time because I saw so many worn out ones at the arcades. With a well kept example, it's great. Avoid 100 killers. Interesting. Yeah, you do see them in the arcade, some of the racing games. Yeah, I definitely remember seeing. There's a period, you know, obviously a lot of games are projected in the arcade just because they got bigger cabinets. But not rear projector CRT. I wouldn't have an example to hand of an arcade game that was rear projection CRT. Interesting to know. Bloody hell, lazy that was. Lazy. I'm not surprised these levels difficult, to be quite honest. One more credit. Otherwise, it's going to be lazy and silly games. I guess you call this advanced, this kind of level. And actually, it's so advanced that that's the best way to play it. Is not actually to shoot all the time because you get distracted by your own bullets. I was almost getting the hang of it then. Just shoot enough things so that you're not sitting duck. Right, I'm going to go there. If you just shoot all the time, the screen is just gone that way. Spend as long dodging as you are shooting on this. So one more. Okay, if we can clear this with 2 lives, we're going to clear it, and if I die on this boss, I will not continue again, because I think I'm just taking the piss a little bit out of the game at this moment in time. Something to practice. Oh my god. Right. Oh dear. No, had it. I'm not going to continue anymore. Alright, thanks for watching, Liam Tracy. And who else was watching? The other people maybe? Lynch, Sega Socks. Yeah, cheers, thanks for watching, and see you again soon. Have a good Christmas. See you later. I'm still streaming. Some kind of balloon.